The topic of our symposium is our energy future, change, challenge, and opportunity. And I'm really thrilled that you could be here today for what I think will be a very exciting symposium. There's a little bit of history here. This almost didn't happen. We had originally planned this event for last Thursday, October 10th, and had reserved the Ford Library a few hundred yards from here. But of course, the Ford Library is closed because of the government shutdown. So if we'd stuck to the original plan, I don't think we would have been able to hold this event. So back in June, we moved the date to accommodate our congressional delegation, and particularly Senator Stabenow, who was very eager to be with us today and will be joining us for the dedication of our building this afternoon. And that allowed us to, well, that forced us to move from the Ford Library, because this is a federal holiday. It would have been closed even without a government shutdown, and opened up this room because this is the university's fall break, and so classes aren't in session. So there are a few strokes of luck there that actually prevented our being impacted by the shutdown too much. We're here today because energy is one of the grand challenges of our time. I think one of the ways to make this point is one of my favorite top 10 lists. It's not quite as amusing as the ones that David Letterman has on late night. But this comes from the late Rick Smalley, who was the Nobel laureate in chemistry for the discovery of buckyballs. And as you can see, Smalley wrote this list about 10 years ago, and he put energy at the very top of the list of humanity's top 10 problems for the next 50 years. And 10 years later, we may quibble a little bit about the order of these, but I think an important point here is really how inextricably linked the items at the top of this list are: energy, water, food, and land use, environment, the environmental consequences of our energy supply and use are really undeniable. And if you think about things like water and land use, the immediate thoughts may go to things like biofuels and agriculture, but really those are important for all manner of energy resources, renewables as well as traditional sources like fossil and nuclear. So I think we really have to think about these holistically, and of course also to remember that humanity's desire for a better standard of living, which is human nature, along with the continuing growth of the world's population, really amplifies the challenges that are on that list. And when you look at lists like that, they may be a bit daunting, but I think they're also a call to action. And that's what the University of Michigan Energy Institute is about. It was founded in 2006 to tackle the problems of creating a more secure and affordable and sustainable energy future. And you can see our mission statement at the top. We really are the front door to energy at the university, both organizing things internal to the university and being an important interface and really avenue for output to the rest of the world from the university. And we're really proud to be part of Michigan's commitment to creating a more sustainable world and to be a source of thought leadership and solutions to the energy challenges of today. I think it's important to remember that it's faculty and students who are really behind these ambitions. Our institute engages more than 100 faculty on the campus. There are about a dozen of them shown on this slide. They wouldn't all fit, who really are engaged across the range of science and technology and policy related to energy. Many of them are here today, and many of the students involved in these projects will be presenting posters this afternoon after the dedication event of the Energy Institute's new home in the Phoenix Memorial Laboratory. Our scope is very broad, but I think it's fair to say that we have some real concentrations of strength that are shown on the right-hand side of the slide. These aren't meant to be exclusive by any measure, but one can certainly find considerable activity in the 4 areas that are illustrated there: clean and low-carbon electricity, energy storage, sustainable transportation, and energy policy, economics, and societal impact. On the left-hand side, you see the ways that we go about making progress against these challenges. We're really trying to create new energy discoveries, and there's very exciting work going on in the laboratories here at the university. Part of our challenge is really to make the whole greater than the sum of the parts. And an important part of that is also partnership, especially with outside organizations, with industry, national labs, and beyond. You'll hear about a good example of that this afternoon in a new battery facility that, with external funding that we will be talking about. And I think one of the most important things we can do is to help shape the conversation, locally, nationally, globally. And today's symposium is really part of our ongoing efforts to do that and to recognize and to address those aspects of our energy challenges that matter most. So we've brought together 5 very distinguished speakers today. They'll be addressing topics that include energy innovation, policy and investment, future energy supply scenarios, fueling our vehicles while reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and green buildings and energy efficiency. And I'm sure they'll provide us with new insights, not only about the need for change and the challenges of scale on a planet whose inhabitants consume about a cubic mile of oil per year. Some of those numbers are pretty daunting. But I think the other message is one of dynamics, that in some ways the energy landscape changes much more rapidly than one might think, sometimes more slowly than one might wish. And I know we'll hear about that today as well. And of course, that creates important opportunities.